You guys remember this? Who can say it? A river. Okay, so a stream.
Taking the time to come to a class is a huge commitment. It means you're not waiting in line for the asylum service or for food. It means that you have to find someone who can help look after with your family or with your situation. It's a huge gesture of wanting to do it, and because it means so much and because it can make such a big difference. As a teacher, it's such a privilege.
Today is on.
The NGO Samos Volunteers has 105 classes per week. Here they offer everything from music classes and yoga to teaching German, Greek and English to the asylum seekers in the camp.
Classes here are really, really important for a few reasons. One is that it's a very normal environment. The relationship between teacher and student is one that is different in some ways all over the world, but it's quite a universal relationship. And one of the issues people have here is that whatever they do, wherever they are, wherever they come from, they are refugees and they're treated like that. And here what we try and do is to treat them the way they should be treated, like humans, like adults, with respect. And classes is a really nice way of doing that. And in terms of work opportunities, integration into Europe, and also having something to do when they are stuck here for a long time, when they are waiting for months and years for asylum claims to be granted. Having something to do, but also getting those practical skills is really, really important in their lives, not just because of the situation here, but also in the future.
More than 1,500 to 2,000 people are living outside of the fences of the camps, or living in what we call extended areas, which means that people do not have access to electricity, bathrooms, showers, or any sort of like sanitation thing. They're living in pop-up tents or structures that they've had to build themselves, because when they got here, especially during the winter when we had a peak of around 5,000 people living in the camp, there was nothing that the camp management could give them. In the media you see the refugee crisis is ending, the migration crisis is over. What I tell them is come here and see what's going on the islands, not only on Samos. Go to Lesbos, go to Kos, go to Chios, go to the Italian border. It's getting worse every day. The camp is extremely overcrowded at the moment, and the conditions are the worst they've ever been since around September or October. There's huge amount of garbage, which during the winter was not that big of an issue. Right now the garbage is festering. Rats are coming back in full force, scorpions, snakes, and then like a lot of other pests that are affecting the people in the camp greatly.
And the conditions in the camp have made the asylum seekers take to the streets of Samos multiple times.
There was what we know was a peaceful demonstration on Saturday, complaining and going against the conditions that the camp is in and the slowness the asylum process is going at the moment, because people now have interviews scheduled for 2022, which means that they have to stay here waiting for their interview till 2022. In Thessaloniki it's even worse, it's 2023 and there's talks of 2024 already. And this demonstration started, we've had demonstrations like this before. It was stopped by the police. It is the first time that tear gas and warning shots were used on Samos.
Back in Athens, the governing party, Syriza, is aware of the situation on the Greek islands.
The way that the identification and the reception centers function in the Greek islands, it's a big failure for Syriza and for the way we would like to welcome and host the refugees. But in the mainland, we have achieved a lot of things. In the islands, on the other hand, we have failed in a big part of our job, but this was in the aftermath of the EU-Turkey agreement and the rules that this agreement tried to force. The refugee crisis and the immigrant crisis is not a problem of Greece or of any other country as alone. It's a crisis and a matter that concerns all Europe, and the EU has tremendous responsibilities about the problems and the difficulties we face now, and the refugees first of all face, because the EU did not force all the countries to receive and to host refugees, at least some of them.